A Guten Erev Shabbos. In Parshas B'Shalach, the Torah tells the story of Klal Yisrael's departure from Egypt. The pasuk says, "V'chamushim olu b'nei Yisrael me'eretz Mitzrayim," which simply translates that the Jews left Egypt armed, which was a wise decision. They needed to prepare to defend themselves against anyone who would attack them in the wilderness. The Midrash, however, brings a dramatically different interpretation. The Midrash connects the word chamushim with the word chamisha, 5. And the Midrash seems to bring 3 opinions as follows. First opinion is that v'chamushim, only 1 out of 500 left Egypt. The second interpretation is that 1 out of 50 left Egypt. And finally, the third interpretation is only 1 out of 5 left Egypt. Very dramatically different from the simple interpretation, which indicates they left Egypt with forward-looking, triumphantly ready to battle, while according to this interpretation, the overwhelming majority of Jews remained in Egypt. The problem with this midrash is it seems to contradict a verse in Parshas Bo, which states that be'etzem hayom hazeh yatzu kol tzivos Hashem me'eretz Mitzrayim, that all the legions of Hashem left Egypt, which seems to indicate that all Jews left. How can the midrash say that so many of them stayed behind? At a Farbrengen in 1965, Achrin Shel Pesach, the Rebbe explained as follows. He says the word in the pasuk is V'chamushim olu b'nei Yisrael me'eretz Mitzrayim, which means initially only 1 out of 500, 0.02% of the Jewish people, olu. They left Egypt, they left Mitzrayim with excitement, with enthusiasm, forward-looking. The rest of the Jewish people had to be dragged out of Egypt. They dreaded this journey throughout the wilderness, throughout the Midbar. But what happened over a short period of time? The one who was excited about leaving Egypt influenced the others, so that within a very short period of time, 1 out of 50 was excited about leaving Egypt. And finally, within a short period of time, 1 out of 5 was excited about leaving Egypt, which indicates the tremendous power of the individual who's optimistic, who's positive, who's excited to transform his environment and to change their perception and their perspective. This past Sunday, I was at a wedding in New York. And a fellow named Mr. David Schottenstein came over and he said, "Can I tell you a story?" I said, "Sure, please tell me the story." He said when he was a teenager, he came to visit Pittsburgh for a Shabbos. He said when he came, he was assuming that he would never go to a yeshiva in his life. But he farbranged over Shabbos with Rabbi Yitkin and with others, and it absolutely transformed him. He came home, he told his father, "I am going to go to yeshiva."
I came in, spent Shabbos, I farbranged. I remember Rabbi Yitkin farbranged. I think you farbranged at some point. I left Pittsburgh, I got home, I put tzitzis on, I told my father I want to go to yeshiva.
One optimistic person, one good farbrengen can transform a tremendous amount of people. As we find ourselves in a very, very difficult time, we're facing a tremendous amount of anti-Semitism, and Eretz Yisrael is literally isolated and fighting this battle on their own. It can lead us to feel concerned and to be worried and to be down or even depressed. It's reasonable. However, this is the time of Yetzias Mitzrayim. Each individual needs to get out of their own Mitzrayim, their own inhibitions, and we have to strengthen our faith and develop our positivity and focus on the future and what we can do to change the status in Eretz Yisrael. And by doing so, we'll get out of our own Mitzrayim, we'll help our family and our friends and our community get out of Mitzrayim, and we'll merit the ultimate coming of Mashiach speedily in our days. Have a wonderful Shabbos.